Tonight on Connecticut's news station, advocates speaking on National Gun Violence Awareness Day. We'll hear their statements from Newtown tonight.
Showers ending tonight, but we have a bit of a split weekend on the way, timing the next round of rain in the forecast.
Problems for a Norwalk police officer. Reports today saying he's been arrested, and it's not the first time he's been in trouble, apparently. We'll hear the charges he's facing this time and how the department is responding.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Today marks the 10th annual National Gun Violence Awareness Day. According to the CDC, every day more than 100 Americans are killed with guns. Firearms are listed as the leading cause of death for kids and teens.
Fox 61's Alexa Farrell spent some time in Newtown this evening at an emotional event marking the day. Alexa.
End gun violence. It's a plea that the families in Newtown are all too familiar with. Now the work to advocate and educate is being done by the very same students that had to cower in classrooms on the day gun violence infiltrated their school.
You're never not going to be with us. I like to believe that they're always looking down on us, making sure that we're good, and not only that they're looking down on us, but I'm always looking up at them.
For 10 years, Sandy Hook has rallied together for National Gun Violence Awareness Day to call for action after their town was torn apart because of gun violence.
We have been pushing for a federal assault weapons ban and other legislation to pass. Unfortunately, we don't have a trifecta.
Poe Murray, chairman of the Newtown Alliance, says they need a majority in both the House and the Senate and a gun safety president to get that kind of legislation passed. But that has not stopped them from advocating.
We've been working really hard just to talk to our elected officials and tell them what they need to hear, which is our stories and what we want to see done in the community and across the country.
Normally behind me there would be a sea of orange. Orange is typically the color that people wear for gun violence prevention awareness. But this year, they're wearing green. And that's in honor of those 20 first graders that lost their lives in Sandy Hook so many years ago and won't be graduating this year.
Everything we do is really for them, especially today on such an important day of Gun Violence Awareness Day. They're with us and every other day as well.
These are the students that were in the first grade classrooms at Sandy Hook Elementary School on that horrific day. They've made it their life's mission to forever honor their classmates.
Seeing another mass shooting happening again and again and again, it can be really tiring and make you want to give up, but they're really what keeps us going.
I think that as long as we keep persevering like we have, we'll make sure that those we lost didn't die in vain.
And as they go on to their next steps in life, beyond their home of Newtown, that doesn't mean they're stopping their mission.
Most of us are going into studies or careers that are hopefully going to help change the world and make it a safer, better place for all of us.
They say they will not back down until elected officials do something to stop what they call an epidemic of gun violence in our country.
I just hope that we can change the world and make sure that no one has to leave Earth the way they did.
And one of those beautiful little souls that did leave Earth too soon, she lost her life in Sandy Hook tragedy, is Catherine Hubbard. Her family works hard to keep her memory alive through an animal sanctuary. Now tomorrow, the North American Butterfly Association says that they'll be renaming the monarch butterfly the Catherine butterfly for one day in honor of what would have been her 18th birthday. Brent, Sarah.
Emotional all these years later. Alexa, thank you. The impact of Sandy Hook also highlighted on a national stage this week. Vice President Kamala Harris met with some of the survivors of the Sandy Hook school shooting to talk about gun safety laws. The survivors of Sandy Hook, who, as you heard, are now graduating from high school, traveled to Washington, D.C. this week for that meeting. In a post on X, the Vice President thanked them for their strength, courage, and leadership.
Danbury joins a list of other local towns issuing a Wear Orange proclamation. The movement's meant to bring awareness to gun violence. Danbury joins cities like Norwalk, Stamford, and Rocky Hill. The movement was started by the friends of a 15-year-old student in Chicago who was shot and killed in 2013. They decided to honor her by wearing orange around her birthday, since it's the color hunters wear to signal don't shoot.
We have some breaking news out of Hartford tonight where 3 people were shot. This is a live look at the scene on Brook Street where the shootings happened around 8:10 this evening. When officers arrived, they found a man and a woman with gunshot wounds. They were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. While on scene, a nearby hospital reported a 3rd victim came in also with non-life-threatening injuries. Police believe the shots came from a passing vehicle. Anyone who witnessed the incident is asked to call Hartford Police.
Got a whole weekend ahead of us, and it's a busy weekend too. Lots going on around the state, and we hope the weather cooperates.
Hopefully the weather will be good for it. Meteorologist Ryan Breton joining us with the answer to that question. Ryan.
Well, Brent and Sarah, tomorrow's great, and there will be some showers on Sunday, but certainly not a washout. We had a few showers this evening, mainly near and north of I-84. The shoreline, maybe a couple of light showers, but most of you stayed dry. The last of these showers now exiting the quiet corner in northeast Connecticut. We do have some rain going through Putnam, headed toward Killingly, but once this goes by, the rest of the night will be dry. Temperatures are now dropping too, down to 59 in Torrington and New Milford, 59 in Waterbury, still 70 from Putnam to Groton. Everywhere the air is starting to dry out too. The dew point now below 60, which is generally comfortable. So you might be able to give the AC a break tonight, especially in a couple of hours, as it will cool down into the 50s in most places, especially away from the shoreline. Beauty of a day ahead tomorrow. Lots of sunshine in the morning, a mix of clouds and sun for the afternoon, and it gets seasonably warm. High temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. A couple of places could get close to 80. A little breezy with a west wind coming in between 10 and 20 miles per hour. We will have some showers, though, on Sunday coming up. We'll time that out and take a look ahead to next week. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
All right, Ryan, thank you. Well, new at 10 tonight, a Norwalk police officer has been arrested for the 2nd time this year. Officer Hector Delgado faces multiple charges, including threatening and following too closely with a vehicle. Now, right now, details are limited on the incident. In a statement from Norwalk Chief James Walsh, he says a person reported Delgado for an off-duty disturbance. Delgado has been placed on administrative leave with his police powers suspended. He is expected in court later this month. Delgado was arrested for alleged stalking and harassment charges back in February of this year. He was also accused of driving drunk and crashing in 2019 and additional charges on his record from other incidents. 3 Norwalk officers, including Delgado, have been arrested this year.
The man accused of hitting and killing Trooper Aaron Pelletier pleads not guilty to all charges. 44-year-old Alex Oyola Sanchez is facing 8 charges, including manslaughter. Police say he admitted to being on a cocktail of fentanyl, cocaine, and pills when he hit Pelletier late last week. Oyola Sanchez drove away but was found by police after the crash. A witness reportedly followed the suspect until his truck broke down and he couldn't go any further. According to records, Oyola Sanchez has a lengthy criminal record, including murder in Puerto Rico.
Developing in Manchester, police are looking for a hit-and-run driver who struck a teenager. It happened at the intersection of West Middle Turnpike and New State Road this morning. The 15-year-old boy was on a scooter when he was hit by the car. Now take a look here. This is the car Manchester police are looking for. It's a green Nissan Altima with Massachusetts plates. Those plates are not the actual plates registered to that car. Police say the car has a spare tire on the right front side and a large dent in the rear left corner of the bumper and damage to the right side mirror. Call Manchester Police if you have anything to help their investigation.
The legal roller coaster just keeps on rolling, and this week the ongoing saga of the pending sale of 3 hospitals in Connecticut takes another turn.
Yeah, Manchester, Rockville General, and Waterbury hospitals are all owned by Prospect Medical Holdings, and Yale New Haven Health made an offer to buy them. Yale is suing Prospect over that deal now, though, claiming the company allowed the hospitals to fall into disrepair. But this week, Prospect filed a counter lawsuit against Yale New Haven Health. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc has the latest.
These are counterproductive. These two entities will have to come together.
Years after initial attempts to buy out 3 hospitals in Connecticut, the fate of Manchester, Rockville General, and Waterbury hospitals once again hangs in the balance.
All eyes are focused on it. The Department of Public Health, the governor's office, the legislative branch will be doing everything we can to allow and to foster a environment where these two parties can come together.
Legislators on Connecticut's Public Health Committee say they'll make sure of it, and Governor Ned Lamont is still hopeful.
I think a transaction is going to get done.
The transaction between Yale New Haven Health and Prospect Medical Holdings has been pending for 3 years now. That's when Yale reached out, wanting to buy the 3 properties for $435 million. But last month, Yale filed a lawsuit against Prospect Medical in an attempt to get out of it. They argue the company has violated the contract, letting their properties fall into disrepair, defaulting on rent and tax liabilities, and driving away physicians and vendors. Since then, the state stepped in.
2 weeks ago, I got the principals together in the room. They hadn't been in the room before.
But now Prospect Medical is filing a counter lawsuit, arguing Yale breached its agreement by, quote, failing to deliver the agreed upon purchase price to PMH and by failing to take reasonable efforts to complete the transaction.
There are about 500,000 citizens of the state of Connecticut. Their health and their well-being is dependent on these healthcare systems.
It's why the Department of Public Health has been keeping a close eye on the hospitals, and why our Attorney General is conducting an investigation into the financial practices of Prospect Medical.
We're going to make sure that they do better than they have, and that we continue to keep the patients safe.
As they work together to push this sale through.
Well, they have a signed agreement that goes back a couple of years. They're waiting for the audited financials right now, which is a condition of the deal. I'm told the audited financials are delayed, but they ought to have them within a month or so.
A spokesperson for Yale New Haven Health is responding to this countersuit, sending a statement saying, in part, quote, the lawsuit filed by Prospect is a clear attempt to shift attention away from the for-profit California-based company's mismanagement of their Connecticut facilities and neglect of the communities who entrusted them with their care. Now, Yale says they will continue to stand by their suit and fight and defend themselves until the very end. We are in New Haven. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.